Hi, my name is Sheila Amos. I did a FedEx workplace balance video, and I'm doing a follow-up just to say that nothing has changed. Things just get worse, that's all. And there's no assistance from security or management. Everything that they say they're going to do, they don't do. What security has stated they would do, they haven't done. What my senior manager states she has done, she has not done. The problem persists. As I stated in the last video, the problem I moved away from moved with me and behind me in one of the cubes. I was recently in a training class, and I was still having a problem. I had my fan that I used to try and fan away some of the fumes and the particles, and one of my coworkers asked me to turn the fan off because she was getting cold, and I said absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and get these particles and fumes. This was a friend of theirs, but she said she was getting cold, so I said I would move, but I wouldn't turn the fan off. And someone else asked what it was, what exactly it was. And I stated that it was the particles and fumes that I was getting from Joe and Lori. And I said Lori because in one of the previous videos I stated that when someone was in her cube and they stepped in a certain spot in her cube, the particle stopped. Then when the person stepped back into the cube, it started. And when they stepped out, it stopped. When they stepped into the cube, they must have stepped on something, so it stopped. When they stepped out, it started back. When they stepped back in, it stopped. So something in that area would either prevent or cause the particles to come towards me. And I had an electrical fan that I was using to stop the problem. I was told by one of the managers that I had to turn my fan off because of electricity. We weren't supposed to bring electrical out things to use in the outlet. Lori has an apparatus. She stated it was a filter, and it's sitting on top of the cube and directed in my direction, and I'm getting particles in my face. And she stated that she was putting it there because she wanted to push the things that were coming back towards her. That's what she said. And so I said, you are getting something, because she had stated that she didn't know what I was doing because she didn't feel anything. And so when I said that, she stopped, paused for a minute, looked at someone she was talking to on the other aisle in the freight area, and then she said, well, I'm just doing it because you need to clean the dust up around your place. I stated that I would not clean anything up because I'm leaving everything as it is. So if someone came and wanted to actually see what was going on, the things that are on my desk, they could, if someone would. But I don't think management has ever really looked. I went and got my manager once, and she took pictures of some small particles. She said that she would be holding on to, and the particles she took was small, but she could capture it on her camera, so she would be keeping the picture of it. I was asked to remove my electrical fan, but Lori's apparatus that sat in plain view with a cord that is also in plain view was able to keep hers. So I went and got a fan at Walmart that ran on batteries. and up to the time she moved, she had the fan sitting on her cue. No one asked her to move it. So I was getting the problems from Joe and Lori, and so I mentioned that. And the trainer that was in there saying, well, we're not going to be talking about that kind of stuff. I said, well, if anybody asks me, I'm going to mention it. Whenever I'm asked, I'm going to state it, because it's going to help somebody, even if it doesn't help me. So I was called into the conference room with the senior manager and Paul, who was my acting manager at the time. And I guess because I'm in the training room. And I had also mentioned to the trainer that I had done a YouTube video. And so when I went to the conference room, I think this was the following day, and the senior manager, Paul, I think, was probably there as a witness to the conversation. And she asked me what happened. I told her what happened about the fan. And then she said, so what about this YouTube video? I think I may have said, what? And she said, tell me about the YouTube video. I think that's what she said. I'm not sure exactly what the words were. But I said that I had a YouTube video because I wasn't getting any assistance from Federal Express management or security with this problem that I'm having. And she asked if it mentioned FedEx. And I said, yes, it states FedEx. The title is FedEx Workplace Balance. And I said, number one, ABC, and also there's 4. And so I gave them information about why, again, I was doing it, and I gave a little detail about what happened with security, what happened with her, my senior manager, and what both had said and both had not done. One with security, they had taken 2 verbal recordings and 2 written statements, but also stated that they would be giving it to HR and never did. Per HR, they didn't give that to him until I spoke to HR, and then HR received it. And this happened in September and parts of April, and I was the one who appeared to have informed HR of workplace violence report. And my senior manager also stated that she was talking to HR. HR stated they had not received any information on a workplace violence report. And my senior manager had stated that they had talked to 8 people in my immediate area about the original situation. And I know that there were 2 people on my aisle that security spoke to who are friends of Deborah, but that was it. Nobody else appeared to have been spoken to. The people to the left of me, the immediate person to the right of me, the immediate person to the right of me, who may have said something about either coughing or getting some kind of fumes or powdery substance, may have said something. This is already almost a year ago. But they never said anything to her and the people behind her who would be in my immediate area. No one was spoken to. On the other side, the left, the person in my aisle they spoke to. The person to the left of her had not spoken to HR or security. I mean, so HR, not HR, but to security or to my senior manager. No one asked that person anything either. These are the people who will be in my immediate area. And I'm not sure who the other 4 or 2 could have been, seeing that these people weren't spoken to. So nothing had happened, so that's the reason for the YouTube video. The following day after this conference, I was in the training room again, and Paul came in again to get me and asked me to come into the conference room again. he said that they needed to have me state in writing what I said about the YouTube. He said, I apologize, we didn't get you to do this in writing, we should have. But so I did that. And then, let's see, the first time that I went to the conference room, they gave me some paperwork that I needed to read for media information, policies for media. And this last Monday, I was in the training room again. Paul came to get me again and told me that I needed to, or someone in the conference room wanted to talk to me. So the HR person, Mr. Nichols, who had stated he had not received any information from security or management, was there with Teresa. And again, this is Teresa. I'm in conversation with her, or she's speaking. I'm just listening. And she states I need to see some counseling, or receive some counseling because of the things that are going on, and she feels that I need to have counseling, and in order to continue with FedEx, I would need to have counseling and to sign this paper saying that I have been requested to do so. And the paper was not an admission of anything, just that I had been requested. So I did sign the document, and so that was Monday, and there has been no research or investigation into anything that I've said that pertains to the person I was complaining about, Ms. Chapman, nor with Mr. Cole, and with Lori. Nothing has been investigated. They appear to just be sitting, doing nothing. As I stated to you, the only thing that appears to be happening is writing, asking questions, and it ends as soon as I leave the room. So there's nothing that can be done at FedEx, it appears, that would assist. But I do know that after I spoke to Teresa, the senior manager, in the first conference with her and Paul, the DeSoto, Mississippi DeSoto license plate cars seemed to have stopped. I probably could have counted on my one hand the number of Mississippi DeSoto cars I saw after leaving work that day. And there was little fumes, maybe one or two cars, and that was it. And I know that the time before, when I first mentioned this to Teresa, and that I would talk to the police or have the police get involved when I could confirm someone said I saw, I know, then I would go straight to police. I would bypass security. Then this is when I had the major problems. But this time when I spoke to her, it stopped. Also, when I first put the first video, it stopped with Mississippi DeSoto when I mentioned them. And then it started back. Maybe about 2 or 3 days later, after I did the video, stated that they had stopped, then it started again. So now it stopped. It's starting again, but more Tennessee. And when I was going home that day, not only did I see little Mississippi DeSoto, but there was a large amount of cars that was there, but no Mississippi DeSoto, and this probably was rush hour. So that might have been normal. It was just probably not normal for me to just happen to see it, but that was the situation after work that day. It was almost nil, and that was also it up until Monday. And think Saturday or the weekend, it was very little. But today, there are a few more cars. Not Mississippi, DeSoto, mostly Tennessee, Memphis, but the problem seemed to die down when I do a video, and I don't know, maybe they think maybe they're being watched now or could be watched, so things die down a little bit. But I'm still having a problem. And with that letter, I wanted to mention, with a letter that I had to sign, it reminded me of the pilot, the pilot that was having a problem because he was talking union and trying to get other pilots to sign up for the union. So he was finding a lot of opposition. So when the incident happened in the plane, which at the time I felt was kind of strange, I can't see a pilot going up there just to cause a problem to somebody because they don't want to sign a union document. It's possible, but it just seemed at the time seemed strange to me. And I know my sister, because my sister actually told me about this incident because I hadn't heard it because again, I don't watch the news. And she told me about it, and that maybe it was possible that he did it because he signed a document for counseling or something like that. So that's what that reminded me of. And also, during this time that I'm out, I'm looking at the video that I did because I recently pulled up one, and the mouth seemed distorted. So this week I started to watch the videos to see what was going on. The sound wasn't crisp like it was when I first put it out. It didn't seem as crisp. So I thought I might need to redo the whole thing because I know at one time also that I went on and the videos were not there under my management. There was no videos. And then when I went back, this probably was maybe 2 weeks or so later, they were back. But the words weren't crisp, and I was listening to the one where I talked about Jennifer in the hub, and it sounded like I was saying I agreed with people when they said that FedEx had tried to kill her. And I did not agree. I thought that seemed it didn't seem plausible to me at all that FedEx would do something like that. And they were saying that she's probably in a cooler truck somewhere. It didn't seem plausible. It does now. Also, the pilot's wife. And when I heard about this with Jennifer, it kind of reminded me of the pilot's wife. But when this started happening to me, I went back and looked at some of the things with Jennifer. I didn't see anything. Then when I looked at some information on the internet on the pilot's wife, and I don't remember her name, and when she died, they don't know how she was found in her vehicle, and the vehicle had been burned up, and she was in it, I believe, and it had been burned up. And the trial that was on for her, I was a little surprised to see where the trial was held. It was held in Mississippi, DeSoto, out of Memphis, Tennessee, down in Mississippi, DeSoto. So, plausible that when she said in one of the BSCs to an ex-co-worker or co-workers that she felt that she was going to be killed. I don't know what Jennifer may have said to her co-workers or someone else at FedEx, but Miss Mullen, I think it might have been Mullen, the name. So I guess these people, I don't know if Jennifer said anything to her co-workers because I don't know what happened there, why they stated that. But I know that Miss Mullen had said that things were going to be fatal for her. So these things are plausible, and I don't know what happened with the pallet. Again, I didn't watch much news, don't watch much news. I don't like to see people hurting other people, and it bothers me to hear or know these things, so that's why I kind of stopped watching the news. It's not something that's pleasing. But I wanted to state that is what is going on now. So FedEx is not doing anything to assist me with the problem I'm having. So it's like what they say, you like perhaps putting a small patch on a large hole is still going to leak. This problem is not going to change because I'm going through some counseling. If there's a person out there causing someone else problems, it's not going to solve a problem to send the person somewhere for a minute and then come back and it's still there. I don't know what's going to come of this at all. So I'm just going through it day by day. And the video that dropped recently that I hadn't prepared to download, but it went in, so there it is. But I'm having problems with water at my house through MOD&W. I first had a problem with the electricity, where their electrician came out and stated that I had a problem with a maze. One wire, there was a problem with a maze. So that would be something that away from my house. He looked at the wires that led to my house, they were good. And when MOD&W came out and cut the wires, all 3 wires, and put these little attachments on each wire, attachment and this wire coming from my house going to pole wire coming from the MOD&W pole and connecting to this little circular thing that's now attached to my house. And they cut up also the other 2 that I didn't have problems with and put little attachments on it too, and even the ground. So now this is attached to wires that would be for all outlets and everything in the house. And I'm now having problems with the water, where the water that comes out when I'm taking a shower, so it must be the same water that's coming out of the sink. It is, because when I turn the cold water on, it's warm, and it's hard, I guess, because when I'm showering, it kind of stings just a little. There's something harsh about it, and if I get the water on my face, I can really feel it, and in my eyes it's even worse. So now I still have to take a shower, but I use bottled water or store-bought water to wash my face and hair. Also, and it was in the video, there is a sewagey smell now around the house, and I'm hoping that this is not something that's in my water that this is caused, because I don't know what my water could be attached to that would cause the cold water to be warm, and the longer it runs, it gets warmer. And I know I have to call MOD&W, and maybe that's the plan. I'm not sure if this also a part of FedEx. I don't know. It's just one thing after another, and I'm just going to voice it, and if it lands somewhere, it lands somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just going to state it. I don't know what's going on, but I do want to make sure whatever is happening is recorded. This may be part of something that has nothing to do with anything, but because it is there, I'm placing it on the videos as well. and that's that. I again hope that this helps someone else, even if it doesn't help me. But I hope it does help someone else. And I hope I got everything on here. The conferences, the training room, problems still persist, management hasn't done anything, Jennifer, the pallet wife, the pallet, the water system. I guess that's it. Thank you. And again, I hope this does help someone, even if it doesn't prove positively helpful for me. Thank you again.